Hi everybody, my name's David. This is this week's question and answer video where I am late. It is Tuesday. I normally do this on Mondays. I apologize for those of you who waited all day yesterday for the Q&A video. It's just being Christmas on Sunday. I didn't even do anything. I'm not hungover. I'm not anything. I'm just tired. Just didn't want to do it yesterday, so I took the day off. I hope everybody made it through the holidays. It's over, right? If you celebrate Christmas or you're worried about Christmas, worried about family or anything else, just worried about it being lonely, stuff like this, it's over. You made it. You survived. I hope you took a little time. In my last video, I recommended to at least plan on what you want to do next year for the holiday. Make it happen. Think about it. Make it happen. Now we have New Year's. Yeah, the New Year's coming right around the corner, a couple days from now. And a lot of people, we talk about New Year's resolutions, stuff like that. I try to stay away from some words as I coach, like goals and stuff like this. I looked up what most people want. I've read this before, actually. I don't think this may be exact list, but I'm going to go over some things that people normally want, because I think that's what's important this year. What do you want? Because a lot of us think of New Year's resolutions as, what do we have to do? Something I have to do. It's my parents, and they're going, you better do this. That's not good for you. You should be doing this and stuff like that. I'm going to go over just some things that people want in their lives. Having love in their lives, being healthy, having high-paying jobs, looking better, losing weight and toning their bodies, learning new things, living longer with their families, being safe from perceived and real hurt, harm, and danger, being comfortable, having more pleasure to satisfy their appetite and desires. Now, if you dove more into these things and what exactly it is or what it means to you and how we attain some of these things, I think they'll look more interesting. Like the second to the last one, being comfortable. Some of you may say, well, what's that mean? Like a comfortable bed? I really love my lazy boy chair. No. Being comfortable. The biggest source of comfort is from relationships that we have. Is that something you want? I took a minute here to just write down some questions to ask you guys. Maybe this will help. Again, we talk about New Year's resolutions as like goals. A lot of us look at it as habits we need to stop, stuff like this. Where do you want to live? Where do you want to live this year? Where do you want to live in the future? Maybe we start doing things this year to get there. Who do you want to live with? Right? Who do you want to live with? Do you not want to live with the people you're living with now? Do you want to have a mate, a friend, a roommate? Do you want to have a lover? How do you want to live? Maybe the climate. Maybe rent, own. What is something you want to stop doing? What is something you want to start doing? Where do you want to be in your life? Say this time in a year. What do you want to know? Think about all the things out there that you could know. What do you want to know? Do you want to marry? Have children? Do you want a boyfriend? Do you want a girlfriend if you're single? Instead of looking for Mr. or Miss Right, it's better to become a better version of ourselves inside and out. Be more attractive, right? Inside and out. Be more attractive if that's something we want. We want more friends. Who doesn't want more friends? I always want more friends. But if you want to attract people in your life, it's easier, instead of going and finding them and searching them, attract them. Yeah. Know more things. Be more knowledgeable. Be healthier. Just some things. Maybe it'll help you guys think about what you want this year. All right, let's get into the questions. Before I do, I want to thank Chrissa and Chris very much for your donations. Chrissa and Chris both donated to this channel, and I say it every time, I gotta say it, but I don't know any kinder, nicer gesture to somebody than giving me your hard-earned money. Thank you very much, both of you. I really appreciate the two of you, and if it helps, I sometimes talk to people for free that can't afford it, that need help really bad. That's where I put it. That's what I think of when I do it. Thank you. All right, let's get into the questions. There's not a lot of questions this week, but there's a lot of different statements and stuff. Last week, I asked people to go down below and tell me and tell us all what was the biggest things that helped you guys recover or is helping you recover. So I might read some of those. So Maria Oh, and all I ask is you guys give us your locations. Can you just tell us where you're at? You don't even have to ask a question. Drop in and say hi from San Francisco. I'd appreciate it. So Maria says, this is an excellent approach of forgiveness, in my opinion. Thank you. I talked about forgiveness in the last video. Thank you, David. Also, what helped me heal the most was improving my diet, following Anthony William health books. Anthony William health books. Thank you, Maria. It's really where we start. Some of the things that are just simple. I mean, this is life-changing, guys. Isn't this maybe the most impactful experience you've ever had in your life, even if it's negative? It's impactful. It's important. It's major. It's the biggest, maybe. The worst, maybe. And it requires a lot of changes. A lot. Don't think that you can just change one little thing about your life and this is all better. I would change as much as possible. And that really starts with diet, having a physical, healthy body before we even get into emotional. Let's see. Salema from France. Hi, Salema. Talking is what is helping me most in my healing journey, but especially talking to you. Thank you very much. Number one, talking, guys. Number one is talking is going to help you heal from this stuff. And there is no supplement. There is no replacement. We have to talk, right? So if, I don't know how to stress it more. I've talked a lot about how beneficial it is, but there's nothing else that can do it besides talking. You're never going to isolate for the next 5 years and heal yourself. Brian from the Bay Area. Hi, Brian. I've been thinking a lot about autism, and I could probably place myself on that spectrum, especially with the trouble I had with eye contact and social interactions as a kid. I don't want to be labeled as someone with a genetic neurological disorder. Would you say that family dynamics and childhood trauma play a large role in this diagnosis? I believe parents who are impaired by addiction or simply out of touch with their emotional well-being are the cause of their child's odd behavior. What is your take on autism and ADHD, and how does it apply to early emotional trauma? Thanks for asking, Brian. First, I want to say I'm just a life coach, and Brian knows that. Brian just still wants to know my opinion. So I'm not a scientist, a doctor, a therapist. But I've been helping people with this subject matter for several years now. And autism comes up a lot. And first, I want to say, Brian, don't ever self-diagnose. Never. Don't diagnose yourself. If you want to know, go find out. Go ask. Okay? Go ask someone. And I'm not going to, I still need more information about autism. I've studied it a lot. I've known autistic people. I've had autistic clients. And I still need more information, just like most people in that field need more. We're still learning a lot more about it. There's an argument. What comes first? Autism or trauma? It's an argument suggesting that childhood trauma, neglect, can cause autism. And there's also the argument, the other side of it is, no, people are born with autism and therefore more susceptible to neglect and abuse, trauma. Especially just being oversensitized. Could be traumatic. I find it very interesting, and I hope that we find the answer to this. My opinion, like I said, is not enough information, even though I know a lot about it, I think. We are learning right now how important our emotions are, truly. We're in the age of truly discovering how vitally important it is how we feel. And we're learning that children that grow up being neglected of their emotional needs is trauma. It's abuse, and it's traumatizing. This trauma, we're learning, is causing all kinds of different things, from ADHD, ADD, to autoimmune diseases. We're finding this out. We're discovering this. Doctors, I'm saying not me, we, but as a human race. And there are a lot of professionals that believe that autism is coming from this as well. But like I said, it's an argument right now. They don't know. We don't know for sure. Okay? And you're going to have professionals that are going to tell you, oh, definitely it's from neglect and abuse. And you're going to have some people say, no, definitely they were born that way. They're just more susceptible to it. And so it's common to have autistic children grow up being neglected and abused. But like I said, we need to find out. We need to know. These are some of the most important questions for the human race, because children are the most important, aren't they? And so we need to know this stuff. I hope we find out. Brian, again, one thing if you do know, Brian, that you've been neglected in childhood and abused, know that the symptoms that you may have may be from that, whatever you want to label it. Does that make sense? Maybe. These are things you got to find out that you can't really, I don't suggest trying to answer it yourself. This is something that wouldn't be good if you're wrong, right? Sometimes it's not okay to just be wrong. Good luck. I don't know if I answered your question. Let me know, Brian. Keep asking me things about it, though. It's extremely interesting to me. And I'm always searching for new studies and stuff, new information on this stuff. And I give it to you guys as it comes out. Thanks. L. Leonard. Again, I can't remember where you're from. I hate that. I'm more upset that I can't remember. Hello, David and everyone. Thank you, David. And talking sure does help. I find doing things that makes me feel good are helpful. Yeah, when we're down and we're depressed, we don't feel like doing those good things. Sometimes we don't even realize what some of those things are that make us feel good. I have my clients that need it to write a feel-good list. While we're feeling good now, let's think of all the things that make us feel good, right? And if we want to be more emotionally independent, not codependent, then we take care of ourselves and do those things. We'll make ourselves feel better. Making good memories to replace the bad. Yeah. Like, I have bad memories at this one location every year, but I like to go to this location. It's something I like to do, but because I had a bad experience, I don't want to. We'll go back there and have good ones. I play Fleet Battleship app against my computer or phone. That sounds fun. I wrote out a bucket list onto my second bucket list, and it feels really good. Achieving my goals. Being around good people helps. Yes, it does. We all know what it's like to be around bad people. My hobbies and being in nature. I agree, giving gifts or making gifts for people you love. Highly recommend adopting a pet if you can, as my dog Mickey helps me and is really great company, and he gets excited to see me when I come home. Plenty of rest, sleep, though I still have some rare sleepless nights. There is more ideas, but way too many to list here. Well, thank you for the ones that you listed. Appreciate it. Those are good ones. And John, I don't remember where you're from, John. Let us know next time. I have one of those family dynamics that nobody talks to each other. Everyone hates each other. Imagine that, because imagine if you really believe that you choose your family as we become adults, right? And then we have 20 years of family as an adult that all hate each other. But, we make sure families really matters. Blood's thicker than water. I have 3 older sisters in my 50s. No, you have 3 older sisters. John is in his 50s. I don't hate my sisters, but they don't like me. Tried to have conversations with 2 of them recently, and they just turned super nasty, calling me names and so on. And I guess I got a little nasty too in response. It saddens me because I've always kind of been a family person. My daughter won't talk to me either, which is mostly my fault. I had a problem with opiates, which I've been clean now for 4 years. But this time of the year is pretty lonely, which I'm not being a victim. It's just lonely. I get it. It's okay, John. I do like living alone and being single now. I really don't have a desire for another relationship with a woman, especially after the last one. I suppose if the right one comes along, it would be okay, but we'll see. You don't have to leave your life completely up to chance. Know if you want one or not. A girlfriend. As far as that person that's doing that thing to you, David, I've watched you for 5 years, and I know you're a person of integrity. Thank you, John. Healing from being with a narcissist is possible. It's been about 6 or 7 years now since it ended with the ex, and I don't even think about her, but maybe 3 times a year. It'll come for everybody. Just be patient and work on yourself and do positive things as much as you can. Thank you very much, John, for those words. For everybody else, I appreciate you. I get it. I get it. You don't have to date anybody. You don't have to have any friends. You don't have to do anything. It doesn't matter. Take care of yourself. Give yourself what you need. Figure out what you want. If we really know who we are, and I hold these up like the true authentic parts, facets to ourselves, you know these things really well, you might want a girlfriend. Okay? You've done it before. You know you wanted it before. You might want it again. We don't have to leave it up to chance. Okay? If we don't want one right now, we don't want one right now. If you want one right now, tell yourself you want one right now and do things to attain something like that. To have a girlfriend in my life, like what I recommended before. Maybe not go on dating sites every day, but maybe just become a better, healthier version of ourselves. Talk to people more. One problem that we all experience from this typically is we get so upset, so depressed, so scorned, so traumatized, so angry. We have trust issues. We may be unlovable for a little while, and we don't want anyone in our life for a little while. And that might end up being too long, like 6, 7 years, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How long? Because we start losing social skills. We do. We do. If I don't want a female in my life, I'm not going to try. And I'm not going to really try to talk to women too much. And I'm not going to talk to women too much. And I'm going to lose those skills. Trust me, it's psychological. It's a real thing. But you can also have friends, John, and you can have friends that are girls. Yeah. No, I get it, John. Thank you. You have a good recommendation for everyone. Appreciate you. Victoria from the Bay Area. Hi, Victoria from the Bay Area. When I find myself getting depressed, I find something nice to do for myself, like feeling the warm sun on my face or taking a hot bath. I try to add new stuff to the list every day. That's how I walk out of depression. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Standing in the face of depression and beating it means being positive when I feel negative. Telling myself it's going to be okay when I don't feel like it's going to be okay. Making myself feel better when I don't feel good. Celebrating things with other people. Thank you. And whatever. I can't remember where you're from, whatever. Psychologists don't push the ideas or the idea you have to forgive abuse. The idea that you have to forgive abuse is rooted in religion. People with that kind of religion view on forgiveness, that you have to forgive everything no matter what, even abuse. Many times seem to have the need to push it onto everyone else as well as their belief in God, which I think could be because they don't really fully believe that the view of forgiveness or their own belief in God, so they feel insecure about it and want to convince everyone else of its merit. Yeah, I get that with people who aren't fully committed or believe in stuff and they push it and stuff like that. But I'll tell you that therapists, psychologists, counselors, psychiatrists, they do push forgiveness. It's been my experience. I could tell you some bad ones. Psychologists, therapists trying to tell me to take back my abuser and write a letter and tell her you're sorry and that's how you can get her back in your life and stuff. And it's like, what the hell are you talking about? And it's a very common theme I get from my clients that have had other therapists help them, who have talked to them. You have to forgive, you have to forgive. So it is a thing. It is in the mental health field. You'll get a strong opinion of you can't heal until you forgive. And my opinion is you don't have to forgive. At some point, healing means forgiving yourself. Finding ownership in something, not for what anybody did to you, finding ownership of the experience, forgiving yourself for that, and using compassion and empathy to understand why your abuser did what they did. That's what I push. Thank you, whatever. Victoria from the Bay Area. Again, hi, Victoria. Thank you for answering my question on your video. My niece is dating a San Quentin inmate that's due to be released on attempted murder. I decided to walk away. I accept she made this decision as a grown woman, and there's nothing I can do about it at this point. I have to think about my family's safety. I agree, Victoria. It doesn't matter what you do. No one's judging you, okay? And you're not judging her by saying, I don't feel safe, or my children feel safe around her or him or anything like that. Horrible situation. If I remember right, I think you said that your niece actually approached San Quentin prison to find someone to date. That this isn't someone that she knew before and he got charged with attempted murder and now she's just been waiting for him to get out. I don't know if that matters, but I always find that very interesting. And I think I've talked about the psychology of what that means when somebody does that. But Victoria, safety first, you know. If you had a good relationship with your niece and it's over, I'm sorry. I am. I'm really sorry that you lost that relationship with your niece. It's sad, isn't it, when we lose a relationship to somebody we care about because they're choosing to do something bad for themselves and to themselves. I'm not trying to judge. I don't know. Maybe besides this guy tries to kill people, he's a good person. I'm sorry, Victoria. I'm sorry. Stick to your guns. Cindy says, hugs from Georgia. Hi, Cindy. Good to see you. I'm just saying hi because Cindy always drops in and says hi for the longest time. And I love seeing her. Hi, Cindy. And I also want to say hi. Oh, we'll get to that. October girl. Tessa from Nashville. Hi, Tessa. Thanks for reading my comment. I didn't realize you were going to read it. In this video, I'm sorry about leaving out my location. I was wondering why some people were giving their locations on comments that weren't asking questions, but because I didn't realize you wanted locations on comments that are actually asking questions. Silly me. It's okay. Some people have a weird response and reaction to me asking for people's locations, and all I have to say is, well, don't leave one then. I say be general. You can leave planet Earth. We won't know where you are. We won't be able to find you. Or a hemisphere, north, south, east, west. Trev, Sedgwick, don't know where you're from. Give us your locations if you can next time. If you need help, then prepare to tell the truth. First to yourself, then others. That's right, Trev. That is correct, because how much of this is about truth and lies? All of it. All of it. I have truth tattooed on my body as a part of recovery. I want the truth. Beware of the people that say, this is my truth. Yeah, that's their truth. Sorry to bust your bubble. There's only one. There's only one truth. And we need to know what that is. And the biggest symptom coming out of any kind of neglect or abusive, traumatic relationships is self-doubt. That false narrative we lived with every day. Thank you, Trev. Let's see. Emily Merton from South Africa. Hi, Emily. Tolerate people, but pick your true friends carefully. That's right. And your family. We pick our family, guys. We aren't stuck with them. No, we're not. No, you show me where that's written. Here's a little codependent joke. You can pick your nose, you can pick your friends, but you can't pick your friend's nose for them. That's bad. Nessa from the United Kingdom. Hi, Nessa. Nessa is also someone else that drops in and says hi all the time for years. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read this. I think I was the best for me was being here with. I think what was always the best for me was being here with my lighthouse. I don't know how I got through, but I have. And thank you, David. We got through. Yes, we did. Thank you, Nessa. Thank you. We made it. And Emily again, how can my mom change personality as if into different people every week? When I ask her why she does it, she says she doesn't know what I'm talking about. No, she doesn't, because she's not aware of it, Emily. This is self-awareness. This is being completely unstable. So when you look at someone's true, authentic self, and you look at how unstable they are, then you realize that they don't know what they need, and they don't know what they want, and they don't know how they feel, and they don't know what they value, and they don't even know what their opinion is, or that changes all the time. And when they tell you who they are, they may truly believe it, even though they change in 5 minutes. And somebody that does this is unstable, and we can't be around them, Emily. And you've talked about how unstable your dad is recently, and some of the examples you've given with your dad's behavior is psychosis. Psychotic. I'm not saying he is psychotic. Some of the behaviors is psychosis. Psychosis is a big area that some people could go in and out of. And that's what your dad's doing. And your mom is completely delusional and supporting this kind of behavior and not taking care of herself and not calling your dad out on his behavior and how it's affecting her and her children. I can't imagine growing up and living like this. Unbelievable. And I'm very, very sorry, Emily. And I know I've said this many times, but separate yourself as far away as you can from both of them until they are healthier. There's nothing you can do for them. It's hard enough to take care of yourself. Stick to it. Being around this stuff is going to make you feel unstable. Being around two depressed people will make you feel depressed. Being around two anxious people will make you feel anxious. Being around unstable people will make you feel unstable. Because one thing is we have to protect ourselves. The other is that we have to be healthy ourselves, and we can't do that in that environment. Okay? Terribly sorry, Emily. It's really sad. I think you should be proud of yourself for even being alive. JR space M. And I can't remember where you're from. Let us know next time. Every once in a while. Thanks. I know everyone on here has been through some type of abuse. I get it, but I can't take it seriously when a woman is telling me I have to forgive, and I'll tell you why. I don't have just one ex to forgive. There are several. Then there's the whole string of women who aren't my exes, who are in my life, that I would have to forgive. Then I think of all the women who have been in and out of my life, who literally lost their crap on me and tried to destroy my life for the sole reason being that I didn't want them to be my girlfriend. I'd have to forgive all of them, even though I bet they don't think they did anything wrong. I'm the one at fault in their minds. And that's only halfway through. No, you don't have to forgive. And, you know, I broke it down huge last week in last week's Q&A that we don't have to forgive. But when we heal, we forgive by default because we're no longer angry or resentful. Okay? There will be a time where you're no longer angry or resentful at anybody who's ever hurt you. Therefore, you forgive. And you don't have to heal. Okay? What helps is what I just said a minute ago, is finding ownership in why this is happening. It's not your fault that anybody has done this to you, but we find ownership. Why? What is something that I've done that causes this? Something I can do to prevent this so it won't happen anymore. Okay? That's what we do. That's what helps. That helps us heal. All right? Try, and you know, I'm not going to say you have to, but finding compassion and empathy in these women who are very sick helps. And Nessa from the United Kingdom, dropping in saying hi, and I already said that. And Emily Taylor, hello, ladies, good to see you. Both these people stop in and say hi, contributors to the channel. Thank you. Miles Benson, says this censorship is getting really bad on here. Yes, it is. It's not just censorship. Emily Burton, are you in your new office? No, this is not my new office. I've got, I think, another month to go until I'm in my new office. Thank you for asking, Emily, and that is it for today's question and answer videos. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I was a day late. Please ask questions down below and tune in next Monday for the answer. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, vote up or down, share this video with someone else. Always ask questions, always answer them, and always love yourself first. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next week. Happy New Year.